Hey, brothers and sisters in the Lord. I hope you're doing well. Today is another wonderful day in Pakistan, and just spending my morning with the Lord, and just finishing my time of prayer, and just want to share with you a interesting topic. Um, I've met many young, zealous people that want to preach the gospel and to reach the lost, and especially those that have a evangelistic bent, like they like to go out and evangelize. And while I was at Cal Poly, I had encountered this trend among my friends, among the people that I was close with, that they struggled with the depression and other like psychological problems when they started to go out and share their faith on a regular basis. And I can kind of relate to that because I went through that myself, but I never had to take medication or deal with anything like that. But my friends, I've seen them go into places of great depression. One of my friends, who I really looked up to, and I really respect him a lot. And I was one day I was just sleeping, and uh, and I felt like the Lord was telling me to call my friend, and because he had fallen into something, and like he needs help. And I was thinking, there's no way that this guy could be like in this situation, because I felt like he was way stronger than me in his faith. So I ignored it. And so another thing too is when you feel like you have to call somebody to find out how they're doing, go and call them. Like, don't second guess it, just call. I didn't do that. And then later on, my friend, maybe a couple of months later, confessed that during summer vacation, he had locked himself in his room. He shut all the curtains. He was like just like living in the dark, because of something that happened to him, and he was really ashamed of himself, and like he got into this really dark hole, like mentally, and took him a long time to get out of that, a long time. Another one of my friends, again, very loving, compassionate, want to share her faith, loves Jesus, and she's like she was working in the psych ward, and she got into this crazy like bipolar disorder, and uh, and thank God she's out of that now, as far as I know. But she had to be like checked in and get medication because she started to like just her mind was unstable. And I remember that she came to one of our friends' house, and they tried to like pray with her, and she was like questioning her salvation, and all these things. Like her mind was just getting just messed up. But all these questions about if she's saved or not, like that's the devil just coming at her hardcore. Like she wouldn't even take communion. Like it was that bad, right? Like she ran out of the house. She ran out of the house, you know. She was just really just in a really really bad situation. Then another one of my friends too, very evangelistic. Same thing. He had a thing for a girl. His parents didn't agree for him to marry her, and he was only, I think, a sophomore at Cal Poly. And what he did is he like ran away from the house. He wasn't paying his rent. He like bought a broken down truck to visit the girl because he wanted to marry her. And sure enough, like his mind cracked, and he had to go to the hospital, and he had to take medication. And when I called him on the phone, he like sounded so out of it, like because he had to be on all these medications, right? Um, if you guys know about Torben too, God really is using him mightily, right? And so when he started like casting out demons and going out there and evangelizing, making disciples, he had the same thing happen to him. Like he felt like he was gonna lose his mind. He was like, "What is going on?" Like he felt mental anguish. And as for me too, like when I cast a demon out of a young man in front of my apartment, after that I felt like crazy attacks against my mental state, and I felt something pushing up in back of my head, and I just felt depressed, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I felt like a fog over my head. It was just crazy, right? And the weird thing is, I didn't tell anyone about it. Like, I think that's a similar thing that all of us had in common. Like, we didn't tell people that we were going through that situation at the time, and until it's too late, and you're like really like messed up, right? So if you know anybody who is an evangelist, anybody that you know that is doing deliverance, some ministry, if you're the person that is evangelistic, make sure that you have people praying for you and who are able to hold you accountable, because you are going into the lion's den when you are making disciples, when you are preaching the gospel, when you are doing the work of the Lord. You will be attacked, right? You will be attacked for sure. They will try to mess up with your mind, right? This is why we have to put on the helmet of salvation. Like, my friend was questioning her salvation. My other friend, like, his mind just snapped on him. Like, you have to go through those trials. If you are a believer, you will face those things, especially if you're trying to win the lost. So nothing's wrong with you. It's just a trial you have to face. If you need help, go get help. Like, don't ignore it, because if you ignore it, things can get worse. Like, make sure you have people praying for you. And like, these things don't just like escalate like right away. Like, they kind of progress. And so don't ignore the warning signs. And I realized this too. I used to get really like moody all of a sudden, like for no reason. I would just feel really, really down for no reason. Nothing in my mind, nothing going on. And I couldn't even explain why I was in that condition. Well, I realized last month that, hey, I haven't had that in a long time, where I'm just like, I don't know why I'm just sad. Like, I used to have that. But for a while now, it hasn't happened to me. It hasn't happened to me. So I think that thing left me, and I didn't even know about it. So may the Lord deliver you from that. Get help. Don't ignore it. When it comes to medication and stuff, I don't want to get into that conversation. But I know if you are out there making disciples and all of a sudden you start feeling like depression and feeling down and you feel like you're going to lose your mind, that is a demon that's been targeting you to stop you from doing the work of the Lord. So reach out for prayer. Have somebody lay hands on you who is bold and cast that demon off of you that's attacking you, that is harassing you, because all they're trying to do is try to slow you down. So, and if you meet an evangelist who's out there in the streets in the very dark areas, pray for that man, pray for that woman, because yeah, they're under heavy spiritual attack. So hang in there. God bless you. And if you are going through that, you're not alone. It's normal. It's a trial, and it's a spirit that you have to deal with. And if you are at a place where like you cannot control it, go get help. Go get help, whatever help you need. But don't go to a place where like you're in a mental hospital and you're like strapped down. Like, don't let it go that far, because it can happen. I've seen it. So watch yourself. And because Satan is like a roaming lion seeking who he may devour. All right. So hang in there. Hang in there.